Hello, everyone. So there's this activist, Olamide Thomas, that has been detained by police, and it's that she criticized the police. She criticized the was it this is it PRO or something. But long and short of it is that she did, criticized the police, and the next thing she was arrested and taken over, whether carried to Abuja. There are all sorts of this thing attached to it. But right now, there's a police source out there that is saying that she's actually being detained on the express instruction of the IG of police. That's what the sources are telling Sahara Reporters. Sahara Reporters gathered that the IGP has ordered her confinement at the Federal Criminal Investigation Department FCID for an indefinite period with no clear indication of when she will be released. We have criminals out there that police should be going after. We have people who have done a lot of heinouses. We have people causing havoc that police should be going after. But no, it is those who are calling out, criticizing the police that police are going after. Are they okay? Are they okay? Those that they can oppress and suppress, that's what they are going after. And then, meanwhile, they are there willing tool of oppression. What am I saying? They are willing tool of oppression to other people. So you will not be surprised that they are also tool of oppression on their own. Sahara Reporters gathered that the IGP has ordered her confinement at the Federal Criminal Investigation Department for an indefinite period with no clear indication of when she would be released. Sahara Reporters reported on November 8 how she raised concerns over her safety, alleging that ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the first police public relations officer, was targeting her. Sahara Reporters, however, gathered last Friday that she was abducted earlier that day in Lagos. And that was exactly what they did with Dele Farotimi, also abducting him and taking him to another place. According to sources, the police first arrested her brother on Thursday and used him to track her to where she was abducted in Lagos and subsequently taken to Alade police station. Meanwhile, police sources at the First Criminal Investigation Department and the Cyber Crime Center told Sahara Reporters that they detained Olamide at the pleasure of IGP Egbetokun following his directive. This is the same person who has just put out a circular around police that, police should stop detaining people, should stop arresting anyhow and all of that, so as to protect their image. You understand? In the recent days, a lot of Nigerians have been coming out to talk about all the things that police have been doing and how bad they are and stuff like that, following that chemist remark and all of that. I remember seeing it and I said it's rinse and wash, wash and rinse, repeat all the time, because that's what they do. They put out these circulars all the time that, they should not check people's phone, they should not arrest people, they should not check people's papers, but yet they are still being done. And most times the people that are giving the instructions are the ones that are breaking the instruction. So why don't they start do example, live by example. Don't tell people what you want them to do or not do. Show them, act it, they will follow suit. The police sources confirmed to Sahara Reporters that they couldn't find anything wrong with Olamide, but the IGP just wanted her to pay. The female activist Olamide Thomas, detained at her facility, was not detained because we found anything she did wrong, but because the IGP instructed us to detain her for as long as possible, one of the sources said. Earlier, Sahara Reporters reported that Olamide Thomas had cried out over alleged mistreatment during her detention at the FCID in Abuja. Olamide revealed that she was experiencing internal bleeding but had been denied medical attention despite her repeated pleas. "I am in severe pain, bleeding internally, yet the police officers have refused to take me to a hospital," Thomas said. The activist also accused officers of harassment, claiming that they had been bullying and threatening her due to her unspoken criticism of the IGP and the first PRO, Olumuyiwa Adejobi. Well, if the IGP doesn't want to be criticized, he should leave. First of all, his tenure has expired. He's not even supposed to be there, if not the criminality that is the Nigerian state. So let him go. And then the spokesperson, if he doesn't want to be criticized, then he should leave the position and say that he doesn't want to do it. Who knew him before? Before him, I think it was Frank Umba that was there. People criticize Frank Umba. You can't be in a public space and expect that you will not be criticized. That should be the first thing you should know, that it's going to be part of your job. And so when they criticize you, you go and check what it is they are criticizing you about, and You solve it. You take care of it. When you solve it, who do you think is going to take the credit? Who do you think is going to be better? It's you that was criticized. It's not the person that was criticizing you. So I don't get it where people come with their what do I call it now, thin skins. Uh, she told Sahara reporters that after being abducted from Lagos and taken to Abuja, the police initially refused to allow her lawyers access to her. After several hours, the lawyers were finally allowed in, but were not informed about the investigating police officer, IPO, in charge of her case. When the lawyers asked the officers on duty about the officer in charge of my case, all of them denied knowing the officer in charge because there's no case now. However, the lawyers were able to see me and buy food for me. It was only after they left that the female officer came and called me saying that the assistant director was asking for me, she said. I went and met with the assistant director with another officer and this lady who came to call me. They were all in his office, making three of them. They both started bombarding me with questions and I told them they should allow my lawyers to be present before they interview me. Olamide said the officer started yelling at her, saying she had been blowing grammar, that speaking eloquently, and it can't be crime now, since she was arrested. They also say she was claiming to know her rights. She said they were raising their voices at me and saying, I think I know my rights. I told them that they could not interview me in the absence of my lawyer. They say I had the guts to abuse the president and the IGP. And then who is the president and the IGP? They don't want to be abused. They should get out of office. After all, the president rigged his way into office. The IGP has been rigged into office too because his tenure ought to have expired until they did so. All of them mago to extend it for him. The assistant director said I had the audacity to abuse his classmate Muyiwa Adeji. Hey, okay, Nigerians, we don't suffer. I told the assistant director that he could not demoralize me, sir. He threatened to deal with me for having the guts to speak while he was talking. He asked who I was. I told him that I was Thomas Olamide. He raised his voice at me and said that I was rude. Olamide told Sahara reporters that the assistant director at Abuja FCID told her to walk out of his office after she told him that he should allow her lawyers to be present before he could interview her. My lawyers later came back after they went to get food for me to eat because I had not eaten since morning. It was evening by the time they allowed me to eat, despite the fact that the police had denied my lawyers access to me since morning. It was around 6 p.m. when I ate that day. After I finished eating, the female officer came back and told me to come and write a statement. I told them I couldn't write any statement that day, even if they pointed a gun at my head. I told them I was not coordinated, I was shivering, and I had not been allowed to eat since morning. She continued. The officer went back and reported to the assistant director. It was then that he said they should call me with my lawyer. That was about 6:30 p.m. So we both entered his office and he started questioning me about what I said, that I wouldn't write a statement. I told him since that I'd been asking who my IPO, that's the investigation police officer, was. None of the officers on duty responded. I told him I could not pen to write a statement because I was stressed, disoriented, demoralized, and bleeding internally. Olamide said the assistant director accused her again of being rude. Can you imagine? She said the assistant director, without going to court, started accusing her of attempted murder and threatening the lives of President and the IGP and Muyiwa Adejobi. I told him that I'm not a hardened criminal and that I did not commit any criminal offense. Only those who have committed crimes should be coerced into being remorseful. He said I would soon regret my actions, and then he told us to leave. Olamide told Sahara reporters that since they put her in cell at the FCID, no officer has asked her to write a statement. I've been incarcerated in the FCID cell since they brought me from Lagos, despite having health issues. They still called the officer in charge of my case to come and take me to the hospital for medical treatment, but they refused to come. I'm still bleeding up till now. If anything happens to me at this point, Muyiwa Adejobi and his gang should be held responsible. I mean, it's really so annoying how brazenly they abuse power. They think they are untouchable, they can do anyhow. That's in position that they will soon leave. I mean, it's just so unbelievable. Before Egbetokun became IGP, there were other IGPs, and by the time he goes, there will be other IGP. So I don't know where is this power that is entering their head. And if any of them doesn't want to be criticized, abused, or whatever, stay the heck out of office.